Girls to fast pitch stardom at this age, 12U. And with over 50 teams from 8 states representing that age division, they showed up for opening ceremonies this week, and the party had just begun. Screaming, dancing, and plenty of fun. But since then, it's been all about softball. And today, it's a 12U Premier Girls Fast Pitch title battle. Directv Genies Elite of Frisco, Texas. A SoCal Dynasty program, the SoCal Athletics. They'll battle next. Summertime in Southern California, Deanna Manning Stadium, Bill Barber Park. We're in Irvine, California, the pride of Premier Girls Fast Pitch in a national championship game at the 12U level. It's the SoCal Athletics, and out of Texas, it's the Directv Genies Elite. Hi there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. Glad to have you with us. Olympic gold medalist Amanda Freed. My name is Darren Sutton, and a fun matchup, certainly a journey for both. But for the SoCal Athletics, it's just up the freeway, and it's a place they're used to being, fighting for a championship. They do it at every age level, every year. Well,
and this is really an elite organization that begins from the ground up, and we're going to see a very, very tough 12 and under team who really kind of skated through this tournament in a way, going 6-0, undefeated to get to this point. They're no strangers here, and they're here to battle out and repeat their championship.
Yeah, as you see, that was the title last year. A team from Arizona took this journey, and the SoCal A's, who have won it 4 times at the 18U level, won their first one at the younger level at the 12U level. So now for the Directv Genies, they're a team that's out of Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas-Fort Worth. They had to fight their way here.
Well, absolutely. They had to go via the qualifier out in Alabama, and they got here. They're 10 players deep, so we know that they've really fought through this tournament, but they're undefeated also. And you know, teams like this, they come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They know what they're up against, but they're not going to go down quietly, and they want to come and bring their championship back to Texas.
Their coach, Cedric Coleman, was told by everyone, we'll be exposed out here. He said, we haven't yet. We've got a left-handed shortstop, all kinds of fun. They believe they can upset the dynasty in the SoCal Athletics. We're certainly glad to have you with us. Family, friends, loved ones, gathered around for softball. The best of the best PGF title game, 12U level, is right now. Energy already around this ballpark. The SoCal A's working defensively. Let's take a look. Better yet, let's have the team out of Texas introduce their very own starting lineup.
Hi, my name is Natalia Reeves, and here's our starting lineup for the Directv Genies Elite. Leading off today is JAYDA Coleman. Hitting second is Jordan Dickerson. Third is Madison HIRSCH. Fourth is KINZIE WIMMER. Fifth is Kinsley Zayer. Sixth is our catcher Taylor Freeman. Seventh is our pitcher Natalia Reeves. Eighth is Mariana Torres. And hitting ninth is Lorena Ramirez.
Well, you can hear the noise, and certainly excited to get it going. Mata Fa'apito is in the circle for the SoCal A's.
You know what, we're going to really just see some really mature pitching at this age, and at some point you're probably going to forget that this is 12 and under. I mean, these girls are not yet into high school, some of them not even yet into junior high school, that middle school, but you know, they're out here playing on a stage maybe bigger than they have before, and we're going to see Mata really just keep the ball down and try and let her defense work.
Pito has been so good so far, has not allowed an earned run in 12 2/3 innings, and right out of the gates over the top of a screwball to JAYDA Coleman. Coleman number 0 on the back of that jersey. JAYDA's dad, the head coach of this squad. And what a journey it has been for Cedric Coleman into center field. Dumps it in there for a base hit. So JAYDA, and certainly Dad is really proud. Cedric over there in that third base box. But JAYDA's 15 of 23 now in this national championship tourney.
Well, I guess if you're going to get hot, now's the perfect time. And she's in a good spot with that leadoff position now, getting her team off to a nice start.
So a runner on first to get things going. Kara Lentz, the third member of our broadcast team, will join us here in a bit. She's down with the families in the dugouts as well. Glad to have her alongside. Jordan Dickerson with that closed stance. Stereotypical number 2 hitter, according to her coach. Takes away on the corner, 0-1 the count. And you can see the damage they've done at the top. We told you about Coleman's numbers. Now Dickerson, 10 of 25. She scored 6 times. And overall, they've done a very good job. Maybe a little bit overwhelmed. They've made defenses work, bottom line. They're tough to strike out. By the way, speaking of defenses, a very good one in center field, Jasmine Parachica. Her father, Tony, is a key member of the Diamondbacks organization as an instructor. As Jasmine runs it down. Dad's an infield instructor. She's a great outfielder. She can play anywhere. Slap to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Jordan. Their regional tournament in Alabama, their qualifier, was called the Alabama Turf Wars, and Jordan lists that as her biggest softball moment. Winning those Turf Wars. They went undefeated in that tournament. They've been undefeated in this tournament. Coleman, the runner at first. Over the outside corner, that's strike 3, and down goes Dickerson.
Pito's out pitch is going to be that drop. She keeps it down really well. And take a look at that corner. She puts it right on the outside between the plate and that line in the left-handed batter's box. That's a great location when you've got 2 strikes. If she can stick there for this game, she's going to make it tough for these Genies to get a good piece of the ball.
Out of Farmers Branch, Texas, is Madison HIRSCH. You think about Frisco, Texas, as that one's in the center field. Parachica is there to run it down. Jasmine makes the play for the out. So 2 outs with the runner remaining at first as Madison HIRSCH is finally quieted. Came in hitting .364 in her first 6 games.
Now batting, number 14, KINZIE, WIMMER.
MAKENZIE WIMMER, or KINZIE as her teammates call her. It's her home in Cameron, Texas. Frisco, a great, obviously we know about the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but Frisco, a great suburb city in its own right. Runner on the move, throw down, swiped it. Stolen base, and with regard to stealing bases in this tournament, game number 7, they have stolen 16 now, but caught just once.
And Kinzie Hansen up and out of her crouch and fires the ball down a little offline, but even if that would have been online, JAYDA Coleman still would have been sliding in safe. Gets herself in a scoring position.
WIMMER, the third baseman, takes off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes to count. But Frisco, a great city athletically in its own right. Obviously proud at a younger level to have a team like this playing on national television. AA Frisco Rough Riders, FC Dallas plays their home games north of Dallas-Fort Worth. The NHL's Dallas Stars have their headquarters in Frisco, so great sports town. Shot, foul, look out, coach. Look out, he says hit it hard but fair.
Getting a little animated over there. Hey, that ball's inside. She's going to turn hard on it. You got to foul that off. But he obviously helping to show her hit the ball up the middle.
So Cedric showing off his moves out there in that third base box. 2-1 the count. Runner at second. 2-2 the count. You know, a quick look a moment ago at Coleman out there at second base. She did tip her hitter off with regard to location. She told the hitter and the pitcher hit the spot. And 7 times she has swiped the bag. She's been caught just once. 7 of 8. Just off the plate. 3-2 the count on the throw back to second. They get her leaning out too far. She was peeking in at pitches, helping her hitter, and then just got a little bit too excited, a little bit too far. The thrills of being in a national title game. Look, the bottom line is when you're 12 years old, sometimes those thrills, they get you a little bit overexcited, and then you're out. The SoCal Athletics are the defending 12U PGF National Champions. Let's meet this year's starting lineup.
Hi, my name is Quincy Leo, and here's our starting lineup for today. Batting first is Jasmine Perez-Chica. Batting second is Kayla Edwards. Batting third is Kenzie Hansen. Batting fourth, Paige Smith. Batting fifth, Matalasi Fa'apito. Batting sixth, Paloma Usquiano. Batting seventh, Hannah Kumiyama. Batting eighth, Raylene Gutierrez. Batting ninth, Brianna Utley. And our flex is Presley Pylon.
Ready to roll. Natalia Reeves is in the circle. She introduced her own starting lineup, and she's introduced this West Coast National Tournament to herself. She's done a great job.
Oh, absolutely. And just watching her in warm-ups, I think she's going to do a phenomenal job. We're going to see a different approach than we did last inning from Mata Fa'apito, and here we're going to see Reeves come with more of an upspin, a little rise balls for go-to pitch. Not much of a changeup, but going to try and get that ball in the air.
Jasmine Perez-Chica draws the defense in. Bunter, slapper, and they know it. Teammates call her Jazzy. She'll be headed to La Quinta High School once she is high school age, now at John Glenn Middle School. And the count evens up at 1-1. A great baseball, or softball, I should say, baseball with his history, but softball with his daughters. Danica Mercado headed to Oregon. Mo Mercado, a star in her own right at the University of Arizona. And the head coach, the manager of this team. David's been in this sport a long time.
And obviously very successful, both of his daughters. Danica sat out of Oregon, and they had a phenomenal year, but coming back this next year, she's going to play such an important role on that squad. And Mo at Arizona, I mean, 2 Pac-12 programs.
2-2 the count. A's are used to being along that fence in this game at just about every age level. To the backstop it goes. The count is 3-2 on Jasmine Perez-Chica. Showed you those good tournament numbers. She has scored 10 times. So she's grabbed a pair of walks, been on base 10 total times, and has scored all 10 times. With Kayla Edwards ready to go on deck. She's giving her a tough at bat. My goodness, it got her up in the helmet. Is she okay? She is. She was cheating out of the box, moving forward to get a bunt. Watch this.
You know, and it's mandatory to wear those face masks, and that's a good reason why. Got to appreciate that rule.
Come on, baby, let's go.
She is all right. That's the key. She's a base runner now, and she's dangerous. She's on the move right away. Throw down is late. Stolen base, Perez Chica. No matter your sport, her father's a baseball instructor and a good one. Jasmine's a softballer. You hit me, I'm stealing.
Well, and these steals are all about the timing of that jump off of first base, and Perez Chica just does that. You can see as the ball's released, her foot's off the base, and the speed doesn't hurt either.
6 stolen bases. She has not been caught. Her team overall has 18 bags, and they've only been caught 1 time. She's a perfect 6 of 6, Jasmine is. Eddie, Kayla Edwards, the right fielder. 1-1 the count on her. Inside, that got her. So one would imagine, understandable certainly for Natalia Reeves, command her enemy now. Maybe nerves she's battling.
I think there's a little bit of nerves, and the ball's just getting away from her here and trying to keep the ball on the corners like you're supposed to at this level. And got some aggressive hitters standing in there pretty tight on the plate, so it's just a matter of settling down here early in the ball game.
The defense would love their shot to go to work behind her, and one would imagine she'll start firing strikes at defense. Torres, Hirsch, and Ramirez. Wimmer, Coleman, interesting because she is a left-handed throwing shortstop. We'll talk more about her. Dickerson and Zaire at first base. Freeman behind the plate, the battery mate with Reeves. And it's a challenge, no matter if you're 12U. That may be young, but playing that position left-handed, that's going to be tough going forward.
Oh, absolutely, and you never see that. You don't see that at that elite level, and she's obviously extremely athletic to be playing that position at this kind of a level.
Stabs right through it, bunted and missed it. A big lead. There's a play there. Runner caught between first and second. Now the throw will head toward third. Got a couple of base runners that gathered at second. The key is just make the accurate throws. The A's are hoping to have a throw away. Now, both base runners together at second. There may be an out to be had. There is no outs to be had. And you stay in a rundown as long as you can, hoping that just one ball gets thrown away, and that's what happened.
Well, and this was a very complicated situation. I don't know how well we're going to be able to follow it, but in the end, it turns out nobody's on second to receive that throw. Both runners get caught on second base. And then it's a matter of who do you tag, and if that situation, you tag both runners, you get whoever you can. Somebody has got to come off that base. And you see Edwards caught between second and first, and right there, 2 runners there. You know, tough situation, but an out's got to be made.
KINZIE Hansen bunted through the first pitch. He takes a rise ball that is high, evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike to KINZIE Hansen. KINZIE will go to Norco High School. That's where she is destined to go. Mentioned that, excited about there from Norco, California. To the right side, it's dropped. Again, a situation where accurate throws have to be made. They get the runner at second. The throw hits the runner at third, so runners are on first and third. And to call this inning quirky would be an understatement. I think Dickerson was thinking about the double play she had a shot at. If she catches that line drive, she's got a double play in front of her with the runner edging off of first.
Well, absolutely, and when she dropped that, she probably had even a better shot at a double play because the runners are holding at their bases, assuming that's going to get caught. You could see Perez Chica still standing on second base. Turns out there would have been a play at any base, and you know, could have been an also maybe some obstruction there at second base, but you're right, this inning so far there's a whole lot going on.
Quirky to say the least. Now we take a look at Perez Chica at third, and you could see that throw. This has been a tough start to the game. Remember, she was hitting the face mask with a pitch to put her on base. That throw looked like it hit her higher up on the leg. It didn't look like it got her ankle. You don't blame her for being uncomfortable. Here's how it started. Let's see where it gets her here, Amanda.
Looks like either lower back of the leg, maybe right on that back hip bone or something, but whatever it hit shook her up a little, and just going to give her a minute to regroup.
I think she may be a little dazed now. They're doing more of a check, snapping in those ears and making sure everything's okay there. This may date back to being hit in the head. She may be uncomfortable from when she was hit. I mean, she's a gamer. She went to first, let's go, let's play. But you know, we all know, athletically, you go through something with regard to your head and you get a little dazed. You want to make sure she's okay.
When she goes back, and there's a little bit of a collision there, and you can see she knows there might be a play on her, and she lets up very easy going into third, almost like she isn't completely into that play.
Well, they're going to run for her. And that makes an awful lot of sense as she steps aside for a moment. So a third injury. I mean, now we captured that third injury, a blow to her head. Taya Hernandez is out there running at second base, by the way. Or check that. That's Ashley Cortez. Ashley Cortez is running for her. Number 72, Cortez. Let's just hope Perez Chica is okay. Umpires gathered together, too, discussing the situation. Ruben Gonzalez, the home plate umpire. Bill Tarasky is the first base umpire. Campanella, Joe Campanella, and Joe Moreno is the third base umpire. And in this crazy national title game, there's no score, amazingly enough. JAYDA Coleman was a base runner for the Directv Genies Elite out of Frisco, Texas. She was stranded. There are a couple of runners on for the Athletics. And again, Ashley Cortez, 72. The runner is at third. And we'll check back in on Perez Chica, certainly, as we can. KINZIE Hansen is the runner at first. Well, let's hope she's all right. A pitch to the head that hit her, and then a bang into the shortstop. Quincy Lilio, we got to hear her introduce her own starting lineup. So Lilio is at first base, Cortez is at third base, Hansen gets run for. And now Paige Smith, Paige Elizabeth Smith, the third baseman.
Come on, Pager. Go, kid.
Smith has had a heck of a tournament. 1-0 the count on Paige. Moreno Valley, California. And it's funny when you talk about favorite athletes and you're a SoCal Athletic and you have Coach Mercado out there in the third base boxes. That one goes back to the screen. Her favorite player, her hero, Danica Mercado. That'll make all of us feel a little bit older because she still is a baby to us, but you can understand at 12 years old why you look up to someone who's at Oregon or who's at Arizona in her sister's case.
Oh, definitely, and they're on TV so much now, and I'm sure that they come out and visit with the team and help out a lot and kind of make their presence known, and you know, just such a tremendous role model to have for these young ladies.
Back to the screen it goes, and Danica is in the dugout for the SoCal Athletics with Dad. They went 6-0, and they dominated going 6-0. And a 1.27 ERA the Athletics did, yet they averaged 11 runs a game offensively. Strikeout would be big here. Natalia in on the hands, a little pop-up. Turns it into at least an out, but the A's turn it into a run. Not an easy play for Dickerson. She got the runner at second base. Smith reaches on a fielder's choice. 1-0, the Athletics lead it.
Well, and this is a smart play. There's really nothing you can do with this ball. You see Cortez off from third base, heading home. That throw would have been laid instead, off to get the lead runner out at second base.
Atafa Pito, the pitcher, takes high and inside, 1-0 the count. 1-0, the SoCal Athletics lead it.
34,
Drop dips over the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Perez Chica trying to work her way back into the game. With the visor back on. 3 different occasions in which he was banged about on the diamond. 2-1 the count. Five of 13 with a pair of long balls. That one's driven into the gap in left center field, and it's down and up against the wall. Lead runner out front. They will stop the runner at third. A well-struck single for Vapito. Smith moves all the way to third base.
Well, look at how nice this swing is. That middle in pitch drives it into left center field. Showing a lot of power for her age. Great extension, great follow through. Nice piece of hitting.
An opportunity with a couple of outs for Paloma Usquiano. Taya Hernandez is the courtesy runner for the pitcher. So big swing of the bat, and she gets to go get ready to work in the circle. Vapito heads back with her teammates. There is Hernandez running. What big chance for some noise here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. 0-1 the count, swing at the rise.
New runner, first base, number 22, Taya Hernandez.
Usquiano takes inside. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. 7 of 17 with the home run. Got her to chase up again. 1 and 2 the count. That's tantalizing up there for a hitter, isn't it?
Oh, it's so tempting to swing at that ball, and you'd be told all day long lay off the rise ball, but when it comes up near your eyes, sometimes you just can't hold back.
There it was again. 1 and 2 the count. For Usquiano, mom is Diana, dad is Armando. Now she's playing at the 12U level. She says she's been playing a decade. So as soon as she walks, she put a bat in her hands. In on the hands, good pitch. That's the other thing I've noticed in this inning, and certainly hasn't paid off every time because her defense has betrayed her a bit, but she's not afraid to come in with that rise ball too.
Well, that's a really good spot to put that rise ball. If you can put it in on the hands, it's tough to hit hard fair.
Managed to put it on the ground. It's bobbled. Did they get it out? Everybody's safe. And a tough break there in the circle. She made her pitch. And another run scores. It is 2-0 A's.
And this ball hit well, but very playable. And you can see where you might argue that being a left-handed shortstop might have played against her. Coleman in that instance, that ball kind of hitting her off the heel up the middle, and the Genies just not able to recover and get that force out.
Hana Kumiyama looks to take advantage of the miscues. The DP for the Athletics hits it on the line, that time right into the glove of Jaden Coleman. But a big start for the defending PGF National Champs, the SoCal Athletics. They put 2 on the board for Coach Mercado. They lead it 2-0. 2-0 is the score. The Athletics on top. We're joined by David Mercado, the manager and the head coach of the SoCal Athletics. Coach, for you, obviously, there's a point of pride, and your daughters were part of it at the 18U level. But for the 12Us, I would imagine they notice what has gone on, and then they noticed last year with the 12Us what went on, winning a national championship. It's got to be pride throughout the club.
Yeah, there's no question about it. We strive for perfection here. The girls have done a great job doing that, and it's definitely we're not looking for anything less this year. So you got that right.
We've got to know how Jasmine Perez-Chica's doing.
She's doing fine. She got hit in the head with the ball, and then she had a little collision at second base that kind of woke it up again. So she did have a little dizziness, and by high school rules, they got to shut her down the rest of the day. She's not real happy about it, but it is what it is, so we're going to deal with it.
Final question for you as we pull for her to get strong and better is your daughter's in the dugout. Danica's in there. How fun is that?
Oh, it's a blast. It's one thing to get them home, but to have her be a part of something like this is truly special. So
get to work, Coach. Thank you. We remembered her success. We remembered her and her sister Mo. One's at Arizona, one is at Oregon. And so, Jasmine Perez-Chica, that's a true shame. If she, obviously, you respect the rules, and the rules are there in place for a reason. You have a couple of blows to the head. I understand it as a parent. We all understand it. But feel bad for her having to come out of the game.
Oh, first inning of this national championship, and such a competitor. She wants to be in there. So, yeah, I feel bad for her having to get in there, but now she just has to play a role on the bench and cheer her team on.
So she cheers on her team. Mom and Dad are in the stands cheering her team on, and obviously want to make sure that their daughter's okay. And so they will play, I would imagine, a little bit more inspired for one of their leaders, their center fielder and their leadoff hitter. KINZIE WIMMER lays off of that one. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Rise ball, a check. So some movement around the outfield. The DP, Hana Kumiyama, she went in and she is now in left field. And so that's her move. That moved the left fielder, Brianna Utley, from left field over to center field for Perez-Chica. So just some juggling there. The DP coming in. High pop to the right side. Good communication there. Kayla Edwards clearly holding her hand out, letting Presley Wilson know, I've got this one. Nice play.
You love that communication, especially at these younger ages, because that's something that's difficult to learn. The second baseman, Pylon, goes back hard until she hears her right fielder Edwards call her off. Very nice job.
There's Brianna Utley. She is now in center field. Kumiyama is in left field. So 1 away. Kensley Zaire takes in and off the plate. 1-0 the count.
That's a great pitch, kid. Good job, buddy.
Got the corner with that one. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Kensley. One ball and 2 strike the count. Again, starts in the hittable zone and then disappears.
Well, that's, as a pitcher, what you want to do. You want to work ahead and then slowly work your way off the plate. See if you can either get that corner just off called or get the hitter to swing.
To the right side. Kensley had a 429 clip on the tournament. She's got 7 runs batted in, 9 of 21 as we were showing you a moment ago. She's walked as well.
In the book, Mata, let's go, kid.
Belts that one towards center. Couldn't square it up, though, and so the play is made by the new center fielder, Utley. And quickly 2 outs in the inning as Kensley heads back to the dugout. It's her dad, Brian, that kind of pulled together the relationship between Directv, the Directv Genie Elite they are called, and so Brian in his position. Nothing wrong in youth sports, a little bit of sponsorship, and Coach Cedric Coleman's all in. It makes parents' lives a lot easier. The these journeys around the country are very, very expensive for these families, as that one is inside, 1-0 the count. Really, you should cheer for the families as much as you cheer for the players in these games.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. The way that they travel around the country to get their daughters these experiences, and thank you to Directv for giving these girls an opportunity. And they're paying them back by putting them on TV.
Taylor Freeman, Hallsville, Texas. And she has done a great job just behind Holman as the leading hitter. Pops that one to the right side. Play is made out there. Gutierrez trickling over toward that dugout. She puts it away. 1 1/2 innings. 2-0. The SoCal A's, the defending national champs. It's a proud day for Frisco, Texas. A proud day for Directv Genies Elite. Their head coach is Cedric Coleman. I guess that word pride, Coach Coleman, when you talk about the journey your team has come on from Texas, winning a lot there to Alabama, now out here to California. How proud are you of your girls and their families?
I'm very proud of our girls. We worked hard. Can't do anything. We can't do anything now. We already won. We won just by getting here. My parents worked hard. Our kids worked hard. They sacrificed a lot to get these girls here. So we've already won. Just getting on this field, being in California, playing at this high of a level, we've already won our games.
Everybody told you that a left-handed shortstop would be exposed out here in this tournament. Coach, that hasn't happened. How proud are you of your daughter, Jayden?
Well, she'll be fine. Look, everybody have a little pregame jitters. This is our first time on a big stage. But she's going to be fine. She's a gamer along with the rest of these girls. They're going to pick her up and surround her with great play. Just give us a couple of innings and we'll show you.
Coach, congratulations. Go get them.
All right, thank you.
Good man. He spoke with us yesterday and was losing his voice at that point after going through what he did yesterday. But they went undefeated. So it was a challenging journey as that one's over the outside for strike one. But quite frankly, I know you have to go to a qualifier regional type tournament to win, but they went 6-0 out here.
Well, yeah, it definitely, they're showing what they can do, and the jitters are understandable at this stage. Like you said, this is their first time playing on a stage like this, probably a stadium with these kinds of fans on television. You're going to have some jitters, and a lot of times it's just trying to get through that first inning without getting hurt. They got a little bit, messed up, but like you said, give them a couple of innings and they're going to come through.
Raylene Gutierrez comes through. Ray with a single into center field. Out of Upland, California. Yeah, had to go win yourself a qualifier. Obviously, the SoCal Athletics, as it should be, they get an automatic berth in this national tournament as the defending champs. Brianna Utley, who made the move into center field when Perez Chica had to come out of the game. Murrieta, California. And Utley takes a drop over the outside. 0-1 the count. Brianna 3 hits and 14 at-bats. She's also walked a time, and when she's gotten on good speed, a pair of stolen bases. Change of pace had her way out front, and they're expecting her to drop down a bunt or slap it.
And the corners are not going to get beat on the short game. Now we've got 2 strikes, so they want to take a couple of steps back. Don't let that ball get by them.
Just off the end of the bat, down the line it goes. Signs being sent in by David Mercado. Mark Smith is on his staff as well. You know, most of the year, the interesting thing about the SoCal Athletics, and with regard to youth sports, it's not a surprise. A line drive into center field. The offense is rolling. Getting that offense, too, from the bottom of the order. That's big.
Well, it's huge being able to get this production from this part of the lineup, and just a really nice piece of hitting. Battled off a few pitches and then got one a little up in the zone, kept her hands high. And you can see that power slap, her momentum through the box, and gets a good piece of that ball into center field.
So in the batting order, the spot where Perez Chica had to come out.
And we're looking again at the contact point. You could see how level that bat is. She goes right through that ball. Line shot right by the pitcher into center field. Really nice piece of hitting.
So Justice Salcido will hit now. Out of Temecula, California. Jasmine Perez Chica had a collision with a softball up on her face mask with a shortstop up in the head area, then a ball hit her in the leg as well. A little bit more on Perez Chica and all that's going on down there. Kara Lentz, the third member of our broadcast team. Kara, welcome.
Thank you, Darren. Yeah, I went down to the dugout. I talked with both of the trainers there, and they're saying that the reason that Jasmine is not able to go back into the game is because of the umpire. California state law, if a player shows signs of a concussion, the umpire has the right and ability to hold that player out of the game. Now, during that time, Jasmine also came over to the trainers and was extremely eager to get back in the game, saying, when can I come back in? When can I come back in? The trainer saying, it's not up to us, it's up to the umpires.
Thank you, Kara, former athlete at the University of Michigan, the third member of our broadcast team. Darren Sutton and Amanda Freed, Olympic gold medalist, up here in the booth. It's heartbreaking, though. You as the former athlete, the parent in me sees that, and but the parent in me also understands the safety issues.
Yeah, and when you're that age, you just know you want to be on the field. You're aching to get out there and compete, but you've got to play it safe. Concussions are no joke, and they've got to be taken seriously, and that's why it's a state law.
Salcido in on the knuckles, just bites that one off toward her dugout. Jay, her teammates call her. And the interesting thing about an athlete and someone who falls in love with the sport and fits in quickly, that's Salcido. All these 12, 13-year-olds have been talking about playing for 9 years and 10 years. That's all her teammates. This is the first year she's ever played travel ball. She's only been playing softball 2 years in her life. Big swing, pops it a mile high. Is there a play there? There is. Wimmer came in from third base. KINZIE with a nice play there. And a big out with runners on first and second.
Now batting number 3, Jayla Andrews, number 3.
Well, you clean this inning up and you don't give up anything, and as ugly, quote-unquote, as it is look with base runners and maybe some defensive miscues, that could give some momentum to the young ladies from Texas.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. If they can get out of this inning, we're already seeing major improvements.
There it is, a big second out.
And the defensive side for the Genies, as well as what Natalia Reeves is doing in the circle, she's starting to work ahead. She's starting to find that strike zone. So if they can get this final out, that could be a huge momentum change for them. And, you know, it's only a 2-run game right now.
KINZIE HANSEN wants none of that talk. An opportunity for her to drive in a run. She reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Backed out of there, and the count is 1-0 on KINZIE. Jason is her dad, Nicole is her mom. Working behind the plate, hitting close to 400 on this tournament as she takes low, 2-0 the count. This at-bat has been her prototypical at-bat in watching her play. Not only does she have the base hits we told you about, she's got 5 of those, she's got 4 walks. Hacks at that rise ball. Not about to take that one, it looked too good.
Well, the key with the rise ball is to try and put it on a corner. This one a little bit down the middle, but good thing she's got that movement and a little bit of height on that.
The SoCal Athletics Mercado team in several tournaments this year and even last year have played up a couple of years. Over the inside corner, 2-2 the count. Your thoughts on when you have a talented 12U team playing a lot of games at the 14U level?
Well, you're seeing a lot of tough competition, and it elevates your level of play so that when you come back to this 12U, it's still good competition. The hard part is to maintain that level that you were playing with against those 14 and under teams.
Shallow center field, charging, sliding with the catch out there in center field. Madison HIRSCH with a huge play, and guess what? Momentum just moved into the first base dugout. Their head coach said, you know what, just give us a couple of innings to get loose. Guess who's loose? It's always in Southern California, this national championship tournament, PGF, but it's really representative of teams from around the country. And again, that was indicated at the 12U level, working your way down from first place on down. Texas and Georgia, the Corona Angels, making their way nearly to the top of the 12U level. Of course, the Corona Athletics as well, or the Corona Angels, with the SoCal Athletics up top. So Georgia, Texas, we've seen, as we mentioned to you earlier, very successful teams from top to bottom. And I think the outsider's perspective, but you got to go back 5 years. That perspective's gone. Used to be, well, just only the California teams get here. Here's a team from Texas.
Yeah, and we're trying to eliminate that stereotype that only California teams come out on top, because even though they're very well represented still in these championship games, you got to take a look back at their tournaments and just how powerful these teams from out of state are becoming. And all through yesterday, I mean, we could have easily had 2 out-of-state teams here in the championship game. Didn't work out that way, but hey, in the near future, I think it's something we're going to be seeing.
NATALIA Reeves grounds back to the circle. Kara Lentz, what's it like to go road tripping at a 12U level?
Well, it's something that Cedric Coleman's team has been used to this season, playing in Alabama, now traveling out to Southern California. They've gotten their fair share of sightseeing. They've seen Hollywood, they've gone to the beaches, they've gone to Knott's Farm, seen plenty of the amusement parks around in the area. I asked Cedric if he was able to see any of those sites. He says, I was busy coaching, but my team was certainly able to get out there and have some fun.
That's great. And it's one of those truer family affairs. When you get an 18U team, a road trip like that, a lot of times not all the parents can come. There's some chaperones. It's more of a college feel on that one. Off the end of the bat, Mariana Torres. Nice play made out there at second base. Wesley Pylon is the second baseman. And 4-3 on the ground out there. 2-0 is the score. The SoCal Athletics and this squad, based in Temecula, California. About 68 miles from here. You have to head inland and then south a little bit. And then we talked about Frisco, Texas, where the Texas Rangers play. Ballpark at Arlington, about 38 miles north of the ballpark at Arlington. A little bunch of beautiful slap and run. No thank you, no chance. Lorena Ramirez, boy, that was a thing of beauty. Textbook there.
And it's a great job by that number 9 hitter, Ramirez. She sees an opening in the field and drops a bunt perfectly between pitcher and third base and wheels her way down to first.
Now batting, #0, JAYDA COLEMAN, #0.
David Mercado peering through the chain link fence in that dugout. On the outside corner, screwball and strike one to Jaden Coleman.
And with 2 outs is a good time to steal. You try and get Ramirez over to second base for Coleman, and if she happens to get hosed at second, you have Coleman as your leadoff up next inning.
Throw down, getting aggressive, it didn't work out. KINZIE Hansen put her throw right on top of the bag, and that cleaned it up. Ramirez is done, 2-0 in the title game. The opening ceremonies, the second opening ceremonies, 2 great weeks. Legends, dancing, leaders, and a great community event. Teams from all over the country at the opening ceremonies, and the president and CEO of Premier Girls Fast Pitch, Dan Hay, joins us up here in the broadcast booth. 2 weeks, many years, but it gets better and better each time. You see the energy of these talented young players. A great mix, for me, of 12 and 18, kind of the future, and the girls that are going on to college together.
Absolutely. We've had a blast the last 2 weeks. We're a bit tired with all of the activities that we've been doing, but the girls are having a blast. The umpires, the coaches, the fans, we're getting nothing but compliments, so we're very happy.
Your group, music group, Midnight Red?
Midnight Red, and we had a new group, a female group called Sledge Grit this year, and the girls just go nuts over Midnight Red, though. They're chasing them in their car out of the park.
2-0 the count. We move along to Paige Smith. She drove in a run back in the first inning. She also scored a run. 2-0 is the score. Dan Hay joining us, president and CEO of Premier Girls Fast Pitch. And when you look at the combo, when you guys put this all together, where was the thought with, we're going to put the 12s with the 18s? Where was the thought there?
Well, quite frankly, it was more dictated on the first week with the 14s and the 16s. Most of the recruiting these days are being done in the 14 and 16 and under division, so we wanted to keep those 2 divisions together during the first week so the colleges didn't have to split their weeks as much. So it just made sense that when the 18s came to town the following week, we wanted a place for the 12, so we put them there, and a lot of it has to do with field availability.
Sure.
So,
well, you accidentally, though, for me, get a great situation where you have youngsters that are on their way to college in the next few months, some of them, around the future of this sport. To me, that's kind of a great accident, isn't it?
No doubt about it. In fact, in the opening ceremonies, we had, as you know, the 12s and 18s were there, and a lot of these 12 and under kids, we have Jessica Mendoza and Jenny Finch that shows up to these things, but there were college kids, some of our own PGF workers who come back to work for us. They were standing to the right of the stage, like Sierra Romero and some at Michigan and some of these other. They had their own little autograph line going, So these little kids, they know who the stars are in college right now, and they seek them out, and And it was pretty fun.
And nothing like having a batting champ hanging out.
Exactly.
That's a great accident to have. You know, the other thing, as that one is high and inside to Mata Fa'apito, the pitcher for the SoCal A's. The other thing that keeps happening is the growth in states. I mean, teams from all over the country, teams that are playing deep into this tournament, I think, as we talked about earlier, a half-decade ago, the talk was, you know, this is a lot of Southern California. Those spots are now being taken and taken away from the Southern California teams by teams from everywhere.
Absolutely. 75% of the teams are from out of state. 25% of them only of the field are made up of California teams. So it's awesome to have this Dallas team in here. And they looked a little nervous in the first inning, but they seem to be getting it together now, and we got a good ball game going.
I want to touch on last week because you mentioned the 14 and 16s together. Team unity, teamwork is a core goal, certainly at PGF in this tournament, but so is exposure and a chance to have almost a showcase-style tournament, as that one is a high fly to center. On a high sky, the play is made out there by HIRSCH in center fielder. But kind of the stage that they play on helps with college recruiting so much. That's the big part of this tournament, isn't it?
Absolutely. We had somewhere a little over 350 colleges in town last week, and I'm sure there was a couple hundred at minimum this week also. But at our 14 and 16 and under locations, it was just packed with college scouts. The parents were just in awe seeing how many coaches were sitting to their right and left watching their kids play.
Dan Hay, the president and CEO of Premier Girls Fast Pitch, joining us up here in the broadcast booth. 2 outs in the inning. Paloma Usquiano takes a pitch inside. Also, the John Wayne Cancer Institute benefits from all these families, these talented young athletes coming together. That's really mandatory for you to do, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you saw the build-up of the opening ceremonies when we came back on live here, that Patrick Wayne, John Wayne's son, was there speaking to the kids. He's the chairman of the board of the John Wayne Cancer Institute, and they've got a breast cancer research center that we love to support, and we've been supporting for the past few years. And these teams, looks like they've raised a little over $25,000 in the last 2 weeks to go to that research institute. So we're really proud of the kids. We're proud of our coaches that they stepped up and donated, and obviously PGF is helping out there too. So
Esquiano fights that one to the right side. Not an easy play, trickling into foul territory. The play is made out there by Zaire, who hauls it in. Kinsley makes the play. Dan Hay, president and CEO of PGF, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
It's a good one, 2-0. What's going on with the bats from Texas? We'll see in a moment. The Premier Girls Fast Pitch 12U National Title Game. And this is week 2 of this grand tournament. In week 1, certainly spectacular athletics. The Corona Angels Tyson 7-1 winners over the SoCal A's at the 16U level. SoCal A's Myers McNee over the Beverly Bandits by a 2-1 score. Then the Platinum, the 14U Courage 9-1 over the Cruisers, but then the Cruisers at the 16U level with an 11-3 win over OC Batbusters. So we've been thrilled over the first few weeks. Obviously a great television package, streaming the games at the Platinum level on the web, but doing so in the highest quality video, continuing to grow in content and spreading softball around the world in that way. And we are honored and quite humbly honored to be a part of it as JAYDA Coleman takes outside. 1-0 the count to JAYDA. She singled back in the first inning, got things going. Rise not interested. Good way to start things. 2-0 the count. Coleman was in the batter's box when Ramirez was thrown out trying to steal to end things in the third inning. We're here in the top of the fourth. Their team, the team of Frisco, Texas, trails it 2-0. 2-1.
Nice pitch, kid. Out of baby. Come on, Mata.
Dad lost the floppy hat, and now he's got the towel out there because he's hot and he's anxious and he's working hard in that box. 3-1 the count to his daughter, JAYDA. Mom is Deanna. Oldest sister played college softball, Ashley. And an older sister that ran track, Gallatin State this fall. And she takes that one right in the elbow, so she's been on twice now.
And take a look at where Coleman stands in the box. Her right toe way up on that chalk line. That ball comes inside, and what she's doing is she's protecting that outside, but she's willing to take that ball on the inside, do whatever it takes to get her team the edge and get herself on base.
How do you get to this tournament? Obviously, when you're the defending national champs like the SoCal Athletics, you earn your way. At the 18 level, first through 9th place sends you back. At the Platinum Division, you have to win the entire thing to move to the Premier Division. And first through 5th place. Now at this level, you finish first through 5th, so this is a good thing for the Directv, the Genie Elite Squad, because as much as they loved their journey to Alabama in that qualifier, they can pick their own tournament this time. They're in next year, right?
Well, definitely, and you hear so much about the teams who are traveling all over trying to earn themselves a berth into this national tournament, and for them just to have a relaxed approach next year, knowing that they can come back and not have to go to all those qualifiers and just kind of play where they want and get their team prepared.
A threat to steal it first just about every time she's out there. Beautiful out in front of the circle. Slap. Just got her. Charging and making the play. Paige Smith, the third baseman, knew there could not be a single misstep. Runner moves to second.
And this is a very close play. Beautiful bunt. Good pace on that ball. Almost gets herself on base, and that's a very close play. Nice job by Paige Smith.
So Paige is on, runner in scoring position in JAYDA Coleman. And an opportunity for Madison HIRSCH. That one high, tight, easily moving to third there was Coleman. The moment she saw it pop loose, she was gone.
And that's just instinctual. You can't think about that. You just have to react. As soon as that ball, you can see a slight hesitation, but doesn't even stop her momentum. As soon as that ball pops out of the mitt, she is gone.
Pops that bunt up in foul territory. Paige Smith again is there to make the play for the out. Frustrating, I would imagine, for HIRSCH, especially with that runner at third. So Madison is 0 for 2. Coach Coleman hoping for a little bit of two-out magic, and he looks to KINZIE WIMMER to deliver it. KINZIE flied to right field back in the second inning.
Number 14.
Curveball misses outside. 1-0 the count. Coach describes her as farm strong. Big power. Throughout their tournaments and their journeys, he has counted 15 home runs she has slugged. Lays off of that one. 2-0 the count. MAKENZIE, dad is James, mom is Tammy. In on the knuckle, fights it off into center field. 2-1 is the score. She delivers with 2 outs. KINZIE WIMMER gets it done. Good pitch, even better approach.
Well, it's a beautiful piece of hitting. Gets a hitter's pitch right down the middle, but it's not about where the pitch is. It's about clutching up and getting a piece of it, and she just hits solid up the middle and scores a run. And I'm telling you, the Genies right now have got some momentum on their side, and they're just going to plug away one run at a time.
Kinsley Zahler now with the runner at first. There are 2 outs. 0-1 the count. And there's Dad walking up and down in the dugout. Brian taking that pace. That pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Kinzie Zahler. Her head coach, Coach Coleman, talked about her eye. Doesn't say a whole lot, speaks with her bat. 1-2 the count. I haven't met many 12-year-olds that don't say a lot, that are somewhat quiet. I guess I just have one in my home. That's why I understand that. But it takes all type to put together a team. Runner trying to move up, throw a little bit high. She got a late jump on it. They collide at the bag. That's a gutsy call there from Wimmer, but you know what? Now she's in scoring position.
When Hansen tries to recover on this to throw from her knees, off balance, gets the ball down there, but just not enough pace to get Wimmer stealing.
To the right side, pitch away, just spoils a good 2-strike pitch. And even at 12 years old, a solid hitter with now hundreds of at-bats at their young age, understands what it's like to stay alive with 2 strikes. Little roller. Hugs the line at first. The tag is made as the 2 get together. Gutierrez applies the tag. We've got ourselves a contest, and it's a good one. The SoCal A's not going to be able to run away and hide in this one. Team from Texas making a difference.
Welcome back to Irvine, California for the 12U PGF National Tournament. The Southern California A's on top by 1 run as we enter here the bottom of the 4th inning. And a lot of these teams at a younger age are starting to do some off-season training. The Athletics have taken that to a new level. They've actually done some CrossFit training about once a week, according to Coach David Mercado, and they love it. One of the girls on the team has become absolutely addicted to the workout and training. The payoffs for it, the girls are stronger, they're fitter, and that is certainly paying off for this Southern Cal team.
Thank you, Kara. Good stuff, and we see that at U Sports, really, not just in softball, but every sport. Some are so focused on a single sport, they might not play 2 sports, but they'll certainly train in different manners. No balls and 2 strikes to count. You can speak to that as a gold medalist and an All-American at UCLA. obviously, if you're not going to play other sports, train in different ways because you're a better athlete if you do so.
Oh, I agree. And we're seeing girls specialize in single sports much earlier than we used to. We used to just play multiple sports, and that was your cross training. But now softball has become so huge because of the opportunities that it's really important girls get out and they do train in different areas.
1-2 the count on Hannah Kumiyama. Sister playing last week, Alyssa. It's a family business softball, and her sister who played for the SoCal A's 14U team. That one has rolled foul. It's been a family business really for many years with the SoCal A's. And that is the case, whether it be the dads that coach, the moms that coach, the former athletes. And there's Sis in there, finishing second for the SoCal A's 14U team. Danica's in there, Danica Mercado, Mo Mercado, who is Arizona star, as that one is fouled back to the screen. 2-2 the count. A run on 3 hits and a miscue for the team out of Frisco, Texas. The Directv Genies Elite. 2 runs and 3 hits and no errors for the SoCal Athletics. Two defenders get together. There's a catcher and a first baseman. Freeman and Zayer got together. Unable to make the play.
And this ball looks like it was equally between the two, and Freeman does a good job getting out of her crouch, and sometimes you let up at the last second because you feel a teammate coming on, and I think that was the case there. Not a ton of communication on either side.
Home run cut, high flying to left field. Torres a long run. She makes the play. Up against the concrete at the bottom of the chain link fetch. An incredible grab by the left fielder, Torres.
And Torres runs a long way, and this is a foreign field to her. She knows where the fence is. There's some concrete down there, but she does not let up, and she makes a gorgeous play right up against the fence. And these are 12-year-olds. I'm impressed.
And if there is a raspberry that goes along with that slide, you are proud every time you see it. And certainly in that circle, your pitcher thanks you for that effort. Boy, what a play. Raylene Gutierrez 0-1 the count. It's funny, their defense was not their friend in the first inning, and it's been their best friend since.
And that's got to pump you up as a pitcher to know that your defense is out there giving their absolute all for you.
Raylene, a home run cut. Deep right field. There it goes. Out of here. Three to 1 is the score. Their 7th home run in this national tournament. And her first.
When she gets that middle height inside pitch and just ropes it over the right field fence. Good contact, good extension.
Three to 1 is the score. You saw Jasmine Perez-Chica, their center field and their leadoff hitter, in there celebrating with their teammate. They had to come out of the game after being hit by a pitch and having a collision up in the head area. She's the #1 cheerleader in there now. 1-0 the count. Brianna Utley. Kara Lentz standing by a little bit more on Utley. Kara, what do you have?
Well, as you guys saw, Darren and Amanda, in the questionnaire, Brianna Utley mentioned that Jenny Finch is her favorite athlete, and during the opening ceremony, she got the chance to meet Jenny Finch, shook her hand, took a picture, and I spoke with her before the game. She said that Jenny is such a big inspiration, says an incredible amount of motivational things, and as a teenager or a pre-teenager to have that type of inspiration to meet an idol, this is something that she said she will certainly carry with her throughout her career.
Many have come away with that reaction. I watched them around you. You as a young softballer met people that inspired you as well, I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, it's so nice for these girls now to be able to see sports on television, to see their favorite athletes on television and have those role models and have a goal to be, you know, aiming for and to work hard every day for. And then, I mean, the icing on the cake is being able to meet that athlete and kind of put a name and a face together. And, you know, people like Jenny and Jessica, and they're just such great role models and inspiration for these young athletes.
So you play the sport, you win a gold medal. I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about you. And it must be humbling, even though it's a thrill, when it happens to you. When youngsters come up to you, that has to mean a lot.
Well, it's very humbling, and we feel so fortunate. I feel so fortunate to have been able to do the things that I did in this sport, and for these young athletes to aspire to do that and to come up to you and say, you know, what a thrill it is to meet you. It is very humbling, and to me, I just went out and I played the game and happened to do it well and do it at a lot of different levels, and I love to see these girls come out here and work just as hard and reach those goals.
Amanda Freed, national championships at UCLA. A gold medal in the Olympic Games. Had some range, look at that. That's a great shot there. 3-1 the count. Justice Salcido, who came on for Jasmine Perez-Chica, who we spoke about a moment ago. Pretty new to this sport, as we mentioned to you. Right back through the box and into center field. That's a base hit. Well, she came into this contest thinking she might get a chance to pinch hit. Instead, her teammate went down, and she's been able to make some big contributions.
What a great opportunity, and she's taking the most of it, making the most of it, I should say. Nice swing, hits that ball solid up the middle.
And so with the 3-1 score, you're thinking, if you're Directv Genie Elite, that you want to keep it right here. So the battery mates get together. Reeves and Freeman talking shop. Now an opportunity for Kayla Edwards. Popped to second, hit by a pitch. Runners aggressively leading off. Everybody scampers back. 0-1 the count. Gina is her mom. Tim is her dad. Tim and Gina Edwards. Her biggest softball moment. This is it, she says, to make it here. And when you make a play like that, although that play with the throw over the pitcher's head, that far off the bag, you're actually trying to draw a throw out there on the base pads, aren't you?
Well, you could be if you get that throw behind you, if you're anticipating it. Take off for third base and see if you can catch some defense off guard.
Inside, and that got her. And so she has worn a bullseye on that jersey with no intent, obviously. But what you do if you're the Athletics is you make it count. I think she didn't mind taking it. Let's see.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look like she was trying to get out of the way, but the rule states you don't have to make an attempt to get out of the way of the ball. If it comes into your batter's box and hits you, you're awarded first base.
So Coach Mercado pulls them all together. The bases are loaded. His daughters have been a part of some big moments for the SoCal Athletics, now doing their damage in the Pac-12. A couple of years ago, Mo Mercado and Deanna Mercado worked together, and Deanna walked them off. And then the next year in 2012, it was started by Mo, and a teammate ended it into the right field corner, and a celebration ensued. Back-to-back walk-offs. Mo, Deanna, and their teammates. What an incredible journey. As we peek down into that dugout. Danica, I should say. My apologies there. And the conversation goes on, and we make a change in the circle. Looks like Carly Charles now goes to work. And Carly has done good work, a 1.37 ERA. So Carly Charles gets the call. Carly a Texan now, but is actually from out here, from Long Beach, California. So I would imagine this feels like a very comfortable visit. A little bit more on Carly. We bring Kara Lentz back in. Kara?
Thanks, Darren. Carly Charles has actually only been pitching for 1 year, and it's been a dramatic transformation for her even since January. She's dropped 15 pounds since this winter. Working out in the morning before school, I spoke with both of her parents, Asani and Chris, and they're the ones who are actually helping her motivate to run as well, in the fact that they're running with her, running a mile in the morning to a mile and a half. And if you look at Texas in the heat in the summer, you have to do that pretty early in the morning to avoid some of that summer heat, and it's certainly paid off for her. But this is a girl who is really working on her endurance as well. That's where the conditioning is coming into play. If you can come into tournaments like this and pitch in back-to-back games and get some reps in there, her conditioning is certainly paying off.
Huge opportunity to get some big, big outs, and thank you very much for that, Kara. As that one nips the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to count. 0-2 is the count. The base is full of athletics. Walk, a single, and a hit batter. The 0-2. 1-2 the count. A lot of times a team will bring in a stopper. No balls and 2 strikes to count, check that. They'll bring in a stopper late in the game to get out of situations. This is the situation here.
Well, this is a big time situation for Carly to come into.
We'll do it again.
You talk about the endurance, and this team came out here with 10 players, and it's not unusual to see a roster of 15, 16, up to 20 players, and here you've got 10, meaning you've got 1 option on the bench. And you've got to be able to go the distance. I mean, they could have played many more games had they not gone undefeated in this tournament.
We'll do it again, 1-2 the count. Her coach says she also helps with the bat. Their coach knows that a hit could be a huge momentum mover. Put his team up by 5. Coach Coleman talks about what a great teammate this young lady who is in the circle, who has worked so hard. Rolled out toward third. The play is at the plate. They get that lead out. The throw is to first, not in time. Well, that's a huge out. You get the lead runner. Wimmer made it, fired it home to Freeman. 5-3. 5-2, check that on the out. A big out.
A nice pitch inside corner, rolled over to the third base. Nice strike home by Wimmer to Freeman. Lead at first base, but that's a big out to get.
So it looks like a runner will head out.
Courtesy run for the pitcher, number 43, Quincy Lilio.
Quincy Lilio is out there. Quincy introduced us to her team on camera with the starting lineup.
Go, Pager!
No balls and 1 strike the count. Smith drove in a run. She also popped up to third. Into the dirt. A nice play behind the plate by Freeman. Hall of Famer and legendary head coach Sue Enquist will join us in the next half inning. Right in on the knuckles. That is how you get out of a jam. Big outs, but a big blow. Raylan Gutierrez, she swung like she wanted to take a shot at the downs. Oh my goodness, going road trip, and her own road trip over the wall. 3-1. Legendary UCLA head coach Sue Enquist joins us up here in the broadcast booth in this 3-1 12U national championship game. The SoCal Athletics on top of the Directv Genies Elite. I emphasize that 12U, Coach, because you walked into our booth and you've seen so many players at so many ages for so many years. What are your thoughts now as you watch the PGF 12U title game?
When I walked up here, I was just amazed because I thought, I had a quick second where I said, wait a minute, is this 14s or 16s? This is 12s? I mean, their athleticism is just so outstanding.
So we saw the team out of Texas, and they had nerves early on playing in a title game. I would imagine even many of your years at UCLA, you had athletes that have been playing for a long time. You still see those nerves early in a game that means so much.
Well, there's no doubt, and I'm more impressed with how they recover.
Right.
At the end of the day, it was quick, got in and out of those that nerve situation and started playing their brand of softball, and, you know, gosh, they're right in it.
They're in it. Taylor Freeman leads it off for the team out of Frisco, Texas. Sue Enquist joining us up here in the broadcast booth. And that one got it, and she is on 1-0, or I should say a runner at first, and trying to make a move there as that one missed inside. So for you, as we see this one more time, the pitch that ran in just turned over a screwball there. For you, if you've seen the growth of championship softball, you've seen how PGF has handled it, how much does it help the college coach as they watch young players? Get them all together here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's just more efficient, and the tournament that PGF is putting on is really drawing all the best talent. And then when we have this national championship situation, now a lot of the college coaches are just organizing all their evaluation dates around this, and that's why you see such a large amount of the college coaches here this week and last week as well.
Runner at first now, and a chance for Natalia Reeves now to swing the bat. 3-1 is the score as that one sails outside. Sue Enquist joining us up here. So what's next in your mind for what PGF can do for softball based upon what they've already done?
I think overall just starting to talk about standards, physical standards, measurables that are objective, that can help the parent at an early age know where their daughter falls, both in her region and across the country. I think that's huge. There's so many parts of the game we can measure on an objective sense, very similar to football. I think that's going to help grow our sport nationwide.
Carly Charles actually came in to pitch for Reeves, so she is in her spot in the batting order as well. Coach, she's got some work gloves on there. If you see that shot we saw a moment ago, we love batting gloves, but she came to work today.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And whatever makes you feel comfortable up there, at the end of the day, that's what she's got going. And I always say best coaches create the conditions for those kids to do well. So there's obviously a story behind that.
On the corner, 3-1 the count. So they've gotten this far. They had to go to a qualifier, Coach, and then they have 10 girls on their roster. They've gone 6-0 with 10 on their roster.
That's just impressive, and it's going to be a great story for them for the rest of their lives. And, you know, they're just, they're just going down there. We're the lean, mean machine, right? You've got to just run with it.
And the other part of it, Coach, that I think is great, representative of PGF, is that they're from Texas, obviously. Each year we see fewer and fewer Southern California teams fighting their way deep because the rest of the nation is coming in.
Well, I'm not going to give it away that much, being from Southern California, but I do know this. The sport is growing. It's exploding in the state of Texas. In the South, it's exploding. And the colleges are benefiting. With the SEC conferences doing really well. So the deeper the talent goes, the more teams have the benefit of getting such great talent. That's where we see the growth, is in the depth of the talent. I think that's what's impressive. A number 6 hitter now in 16s is going to go and be a D1 scholarship athlete, whereas years before, there's no way. It'd be 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 hitters.
Big strikeout over the outside corner sends Charles back to the dugout. Mariana Torres with the runner at first. Sue Enquist joining us up here in the broadcast booth. To the right side, foul. One last question for you before we cut you loose to enjoy this, and I asked it last week as well. What is your advice for the youth sports parent? Because you have dealt with so many parents through your time. What advice do you have?
Just have a plan with your student athlete, your daughter. Have a plan regarding her academic life, her social life, and then her athletic life. Make sure that this is her game, that she's out there playing for herself, and on game day, let it be hers, and when the game's over, win, lose, draw, let her be the one that initiates that conversation, and don't break it down until she's ready to.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thanks so much for having me.
Coach Sue Enquist joining us here in the broadcast booth with one out in this 3-1 game. Those 11 national championships at UCLA, and it's always an honor to have her up here. Her perspective is so welcome. Torres grounded out to second, back in the third inning. And 0-2 is the count. Into center field, off the end of the bat, running it down out there is Utley. He came on for Perez Chica, so a couple of outs in the inning. Here in the top of the fifth with a 3-1 score.
Number 3, Lorena Ramirez. Number 3.
Lorena Ramirez now. Lorena singled back in the third inning. Slapped it back to the screen. 0-1 the count on Lodi, her teammates call her. Cynthia is mom. Dad is Trent. You think about what this team out of Frisco, Texas is accomplishing. Last year, a team in a similar manner, the AZ Suncats just outside of Tucson, had to go and win at a qualifier, and they met these same A's. Obviously, these players from last year have moved on to the 14U level, and it was a run rule situation. Just such a hard journey to get here that the favorite dominated. The pitch is high, 1-2 the count. Amanda, that's not the case in this game. So
no.
Kudos to that team.
Oh, absolutely, kudos. And it's easy to kind of get here and just be satisfied with getting here, but it's another thing to really come out and want to win this game, and we're seeing it from the Genies today. Yeah, they're happy to be here, but at the same time, they're here to compete.
So we saw that deep bench, right? I mean, all the way down the line for the SoCal A's when the Directv team goes out defensively. They're hitting now, but when they go out defensively, there's one person in that dugout. Slaps that one foul. We'll do it again, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 3-1 the score. They averaged 8 runs a game coming in. Bouncer into center field. It's a base hit. They're looking to add to their 1-run total of 2 for 2 day out of the number 9 spot for Ramirez.
And we're seeing some really good at-bats, just some good old-fashioned battles at the plate, and Ramirez goes deep in this count. She had been fouling it off down the third base side, and then you can see she gets Usquiano at shortstop, leaning to her right towards third base, thinking she's going to go in that hole, and then she just pulls that ball right up the middle.
We may have a change in the circle. Michaela Jordan takes the responsibility now.
You got that,
So the afternoon is done for Mata Fa'apito. Your thoughts on what you saw from number 34 for the A's?
I think she did her job. I think she went in and, like we had mentioned, she kept the ball down, and her team's in the ball game. That's all you can ask is, you know, they got a lead and she's kept them quiet for some time, and the Genies are full of good hitters. So I think she did a phenomenal job out there, and all you can ask is a pitcher go out there, do their best, and give your team an opportunity, and she's certainly done that.
Michaela Jordan now. Michaela's worked 9 2/3 innings. She's got 6 strikeouts, ERAs you see of 2.17. Michaela has worked a pair of times as a starter and a couple of games as well on top of that. So a similar situation that we saw from the last inning when we saw some big outs being rolled up by Carly Charles, and Jordan trying to do the same thing. Out of Murrieta, California. She'll head to Great Oak High School in a couple of years. Tina is mom, Sean is dad. Sean and Tina Jordan. Would imagine anxiously watching this one. Dangerous hitter, top of the order, popped up. One pitch and one big out. And a couple of runners are stranded. Jordan got the call. There were 2 ducks on the pond. He made them fly away. With a fighting chance, keeping it close, a teen out of Frisco, Texas. Carly Charles, the big cheese, her teammates call her in the circle. And she came on and went to work for Natalia Reeves, who's somewhere in that dugout, and that's it. There's Natalia Reeves in the background. There's your support. I mean, when you travel 10, that's it. I mean, you cheer and you work hard. And it's one of those unique situations, and that's why, again, we can't state enough how incredible it is what they've done.
And it doesn't matter how many people you have on your team, you just all have to be committed to one goal. And the Genies traveling 10 to a tournament like this, you see teams pick up multiple players and stack their team just in case there are injuries or situations where you want to burn a player. The Genies don't have opportunities to burn players. They've got a pitcher on the bench, which you need that,
right.
And that's it.
Quincy Lilio, who introduced our starting lineup, who has already pinch ran twice in this contest, gets an opportunity to hit now. Slaps that one into left field. They were playing shallow. 2 defenders get together. Hopefully everyone's all right, because Coleman almost stepped right over the top of Torres, and a nice job. She got her arm there. But the play is made by the streaking Coleman.
And Coleman going back like an outfielder with her drop step. And we talked about the communication earlier in this game and how difficult when you're going for a ball to listen for your teammates. Priority there goes to Torres in left field, if she calls that loud. But tip your cap to Coleman, who goes back hard and makes the play.
Paloma Usquiano, 3-1 is the score. We've talked about that journey from Texas. They've made it fun, haven't they, Kara?
They've been tested along the way. Going back to the tournament in Alabama, talking with Cedric Coleman beforehand, he said it's the biggest tournament in the South, and they kind of went in there with no expectations. They went and they said, hey, you know what? Let's see what happens. They won, and that really gave them the basis there that put them on the map. And I'm assuming that could also probably give the team a lot of confidence going into a national tournament such as this.
2-0 the count. Carly Charles files a strike over the outside, 2-1. Usquiano reached on an error back in the first inning, popped up to the first baseman. Foul up the first baseline. 3-1 is the score. Had to go win themselves a qualifier. The Alabama Turf Wars, it was called. They took their trip to Birmingham and they brought the hardware home. And that gave them the opportunity to take another trip out here. Changeup never got there. 3-2 the count. pitch in the defending champions at the 12U level, the SoCal Athletics. Most of their players at the 12U level have moved on and are playing at the 14U level now. They finished second in the country. That one is rolled foul. This is last year. And the runs just kept on coming. One after another, after another. And a credit to the AZ Suncats, who again had to play into a qualifier in New Mexico to get here. But it was just too much, as that one is inside, that one is ball 4. Usquiano was on. Mercado looking on. Dad is not quite so loose. He is having a conversation now to get this big at bat set up. Hanakumiyama.
Now batting number 42, Hannah Kumiyama.
Hannah's mom is Teresa, dad is Chris. Sister Alyssa plays as well. Told you about that earlier. She'll be headed to Gar High School here in Southern California. 0-1 the count.
And Hannah hasn't been on this team for very long, probably not as long as most of the girls on the team, but very athletic. She's a pitcher as well, can play infield. You see her in left field right now, filling some spots, and started in that DP position, so just kind of grasped onto this team and has been a very effective part.
Charles, born in Long Beach, now lives in Texas, is enjoying California as she's out in the circle and on an 0-2 pitch, couldn't do anything with it. At the premier level, at the 14U level, Corona Angels Tyson, and at the 16U level, the SoCal A's Myers-McNee team, already national champions of Premier Girls Fast Pitch. Pretty good take right there. 1-2.
With a 2-strike count, you want to see if you can get that hitter to chase. Kumiyama does not bite. This is a good pitcher's pitch in that count.
Up that time. They get the lead runner, barehanded play on the flip and a double play! The flip was high. JAYDA Coleman reached up with the bare hand and then just fired it on to first. 4-6-3 on the double play. Guess what? In this case, a southpaw shortstop worked out just fine. Wow. You might see that one again. 3-1 is the score. The leadoff hitter, the coach's daughter, JAYDA Coleman. You tell me.
I don't even know where to start with this. I mean, you talk about a left-handed shortstop and can it happen, but look at the way she just I mean, that's completely just unscripted athletic play. You can't teach that.
There was dancing out front of the dugout. There was energy, and that young lady created it. I think the key on that play, not to break it down too much, but how did she throw it? I think that's the key. The barehanded catch was enough, but then to generate enough strength, not only to get it to first, but with some zip on it, was stunning.
Well, it was all one motion when she received it with her bare hand. She just takes that high flip, takes it right into her throwing lane, and fires it over to first base. I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better for them.
Jordan Dickerson puts a bunt down, losing her footing, unable to make the play, is Michaela Jordan. I don't know if Jordan even stands straight and makes that play if she's able to get it, maybe. But once she slipped just a bit, couldn't put anything on that throw. Great bunt.
I'm so impressed with the bunting from the Genies. They have such nice touch on that, and you're right, had that been fielded cleanly in a strong throw, I still think that Dickerson would have beat that out.
Top of the 6th inning, 3-1 is the score. The Athletics in black. In blue and white, the team from Frisco, Texas. Directv Genies Elite. 1-0 the count. HIRSCH fly to center, popped up to third, so she's been lifting the softball at this point. She does have home run power. She has hit one in this tournament. She had a 3-run homer a couple of days back. Pool game number 2. She rolls it foul. As a father of a 12-year-old, I'm going to document that her biggest softball moment is right on spot. Hitting my first home run in PGF pool play game number 2, and my dad finally got me my first cell phone.
Is that because of the home run?
Maybe. Maybe. That one is outside. 2-2 the count. She didn't say. But we'll have to ask Ted or Donna. Ted will tell us his story. Donna will tell us the truth. Foul back to the screen.
As the mother to a 6-month-old, I need to know these things and how this whole bribery works and how do you get your kids to perform and what's after a cell phone.
We'll keep talking. 2-2. Your journey has just begun. 3-2 the count. I just thought that was funny. I had actually read through the first part of the note earlier and didn't make it all the way to the end. And there's a double exclamation point after the word phone as well. The 3-2. Inside. Got her over the corner. Boy, if ever there was a pitcher's pitch, that was it. Because offensively, what do you do with that pitch?
Now, when that pitch rides in that tight on your hands, unless you're reacting right out of the hand to get your barrel to the ball, it's too hard to react after you've identified that pitch inside. And you can see she just gets buckled on that inside corner. Beautiful pitch.
KINZIE WIMMER takes up and away. MAKENZIE singled in a run in the 4th inning. And it was a really good at bat. She knew the objective. She had a runner in scoring position. Now she's got wall power. But she just took a nice center of the diamond swing and put a ball in the center field. The temptation this time might be to try to put a ball over the boards. 1-1 the count. SoCal Athletics 12U, the national champions a year ago. Into the dirt it goes. There's your runner in scoring position. Let's see if she'll deliver again. Dickerson moves up. If you're just joining us, both of these teams, the SoCal Athletics and the Directv Genies Elite, a combined 12-0 in this tournament.
When this pitch just crosses up KINZIE HANSEN behind the plate, she sets up on the outside corner. The ball's spits out of the wrist of Michaela Jordan under the inside corner, and throw a pass ball, and Hansen does everything she can to keep that ball in front, but just gets too far to the left.
To the right side, belted, deep, off the wall. Hustling on around. There may be a play at the plate, an aggressive turn. Now there may be a play at third. The slide, did she get past the bag? She stayed on it. With the ball sailing to right field, Dickerson had to make sure, in her mind anyway, that the ball was caught. That's why she didn't score. Runners on second and third.
And that's tough as a base runner to read this ball behind you and to see, is that right fielder on pace to catch that ball? So she has to hold to a certain extent. As soon as it's dropped, she needs to take off, and you see she gets a good halfway to three-quarters down that line before she makes a decision to go back to third. And I wasn't quite sure there was going to even be a play at home, but then that ball made it a little bit quicker than I thought, and I think it was a smart decision though. She watches it, she watches it. I think where she gets caught up is her momentum is going a little bit too much towards second base. But the decision to stay at third, nobody is hurt. You still have one out. Now you've got a runner on third and second.
When you understand, if you get back, you're thinking, I can tag if the play is made. So that's a tough thing, because if you go ahead and throw that out the window and go halfway, then if it's caught, you can get back. Tough choice. We're up here. Hit on the ground. Did they get it off the ground? They did not. That's a 6-3 ground out and an RBI. Usquiano did all she could to take it off the dirt, couldn't do so. So got it on one hop and a run scores.
On anything to do the job, and this ball just reaches its way to the ground slightly, but that's an RBI.
So Taylor Freeman now. An RBI for Kensley Zaire. And a big one. 3-2 is the score. Tying run is at third. The drop is outside. 1-0 the count. Taylor hit by a pitch in the fifth inning. Popped up to first in the second. Two 2-0. It's a good look from behind home plate at the action on the softball. 2-1. Freeman also homered in this tournament. Into center field, and we're tied. Give us a couple of innings, Cedric Coleman said. And ever since then, they've been defensive gems. Now they've got some big hits coming.
And it looks like the nerves for the most part are gone, because these are some two-strike clutch hitting performances that we're seeing. Nice up the middle base hit by Freeman, score that tying run. And slowly you see the Genies have worked their way back up. They didn't panic after that first inning where the nerves got the best of them.
She's come into work as the pitcher now with the bat in her hand for the second time, and Carly Charles takes in on the corner. 0-1 the count. Struck out looking with a runner in scoring position back in the fifth inning. Drop is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. We are tied at 3. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Inside. 2-1 the count. Got the corner extended a bit there. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Coach David Mercado looking on from just inside of that dugout. Cedric Coleman has been passionate the entire game. When his daughter made that play from shortstop, he came out and was dancing within the foul lines to the right side. Play is made up the ladder. Defensive grab there by Raylene Gutierrez, and a good one. We have got a heck of a 12U national title game. 3-3 is our score. Texas and Southern California dueling in Irvine. What a battle. It looked like the SoCal Athletics, with some defensive miscues in front of them by the Directv Genies out of Texas, would kind of get going and maybe never look back. Then we heard from their head coach, the team out of Texas. We heard from Cedric Coleman, and he said, just give us a little while. We were nervous. Give us a few innings. I'll tell you what, he was completely prophetic. His team played amazing defense ever since and has come up with some big hits, and we're tied at 3, and a team with just 10 on their roster. Shocking the team at this point from Southern California. And they're tied at 3, 1-0 the count to Raylene Gutierrez. Home run cut, remember, she knocked one over the boards back in the 4th inning. Kept it fair, a pitch that was up in the zone. And on a 1-1 count, had her out front, pulled the string back on. That's what you do to a power hitter.
And we've seen Carly Charles come out with that off-speed pitch quite a bit in this game, and it's done a number on the Athletics hitters, really throwing them off balance. She's showing some good movement and for the most part keeping the ball down in the zone.
Two and two the count. Coach Mercado looks on as the 2-2 is swung right through. I think she still had a home run on her mind there, kind of dropped that back shoulder, trying to drive it out.
She felt good after that home run swing, and rightfully so, but then this pitch just takes a dive at the end.
Dare I say a Ruthian cut there. Like another Orange County home run hitter from years gone by when Reggie Jackson used to swing that way, not too far from here. Brianna Utley takes a change that misses outside. 1-0 the count to Brianna. Two and 0 the count. Infield, not completely pinched in tight on the corners. For a slapper there, maybe back a step or two. A good pitch over the inside, looked like a curveball there, 2-1 the count.
Well, that's a really nice pitch. When Charles is able to hit that inside corner to a lefty, it has a little bit of a drop curve motion on it.
Pushes a bunt, but she got it right back to the circle, and a nice play made by Carly Charles. She did see the defenders back on the corners, just couldn't get it that way.
And that's youth also. I mean, we're talking about 11, 12-year-olds. She's identifying that she's got an opportunity to drop a bunt, but you're right, the bat angle isn't quite enough to get it to first or to third, so it goes right back to the pitcher and had a little bit too much pace on it, and that's why she wasn't able to get herself down to first base, but great idea and good awareness.
Change up, floats high, 1-0 the count. A light rain starts to fall in Southern California. A light rain? Probably refreshing. That one is in on the corner, 1-1 the count. Okay, so while it's light and refreshing, these are younger players. Do they even notice it? You tell me.
I don't think so. I think they would prefer this over the heat, and there's plenty of umbrellas in the stands, but they brought it for shade. But hey, whatever works.
In on the knuckles, rolled out to first. Here's what we do know. The one thing that really works is Carly Charles, because after her team had a big offensive inning, she set the opposing squad down. 1, 2, 3. Three is our score. The offense early and often for the SoCal Athletics with a pair on the board, but it's been a battle as we take a journey back. It started in the first inning. Jasmine Perez-Chica took one high and tight. Wildness on the base pad. She had a second collision and was hit by a throw. The runner that came on for her would eventually score, and 2 runs would score in that inning. Again, a crazy first inning. And it was a 2-0 lead, and then in the 4th inning, the comeback was on a pretty swing. KINZIE WIMMER right back through the box. And then a long ball. We told you earlier, swinging for the downs, Rayla Gutierrez 3-1, and you thought, could they come back? Could they battle back? Well, in the 5th, they did. And an offensive play started things offensively. A great double play on a barehanded throw. Coleman and her mates took the offense into the next inning. Zayer and Freeman both with big RBIs. We are tied at 3. The count is 1-0 as that one is fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. These are fun pictures to look back at. This has been a great game.
This has been a really nice game, and you're right. When you saw that first inning, you think, oh man, this game might get out of control, but the Genies just, the nerves got the best of them for a couple of outs, and now they've settled in. They've really put up a strong showing, and we've got a tie ball game, and it really could go either way.
2-1 the count. I'll be honest, I mean, watching a lot of these games and watching the playing game semifinals over the last few weeks, and you and I over the last 4 years together, I thought that's what would happen. I mean, you really felt like maybe it just would be too much. Hit on the line, handcuffs the shortstop, who recovers and makes the play. Busquiano with a great job, because you could be shaken so much by a line drive off the wrist, you might never recover.
Well, this ball struck so well, so hard. had to make a decision which direction to put the glove and just cuffs her. But does a good job of recovering and making the play.
Mariana Torres hit that one really hard. As was mentioned, she squared it up. Lorena Ramirez now. A couple of steps in at third as first as well. And tries to slap it, but it's foul. No balls and 1 strike to count. Gobbled up, on across, and in time for the out. Ramirez was 2 for 2, now 2 for 3. Out of that 9 spot, having a big game. Now for Ramirez, a great day too, because she just had a pair of hits in the entire tournament. Would you pay to watch a 12-year-old play? Would you stop by and do that for a ticket? I would to watch her play, JAYDA Coleman. She's been hit by a pitch. She's got a pair of stolen bases. She made a defensive play for the ages. We showed you in our highlights, and I'm a big believer that her defensive play started the offense.
No, that happens a lot of times. When you're getting it done on defense, that momentum carries into your offense.
She's a base runner. Let's hope she's all right. She has been hit twice in this game. She's grabbing right around the hip area.
And look at the movement on this curveball. Just skates inside. Gets her directly on that right hip.
Remember, the training staff comes out for a visit. So when you have just one on the bench, a pitcher that came out of the game, rules-wise, could you put her in, re-enter her as a runner if you needed her? I mean, your best runner's at first if she's okay.
Yeah, you want to stick with Coleman, really. I mean, you don't have a lot of options. You want to have that option to go back to Reeves if you had to in the circle before you'd want to put her into pinch run.
This is really close here.
Look at this snap throw by HANSEN behind the plate. Almost catches Coleman leaning.
Belted, left field, down the line it goes, but it's a foul ball. Had it out front a little bit. Jordan Dickerson. Sacrifice bunt in the 4th. She struck out looking in the 1st. Singled and scored in the 6th. Top of the 7th inning, the final inning. 3-3 our score. And there are 2 outs. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Jordan's dad is Kenny, mom is Carol. Again, just spoils a 2-strike pitch. Just threw her bat at the softball. In white and blue, Directv Genies Elite. 6-0 in this tournament out of Frisco, Texas, just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. In black, the SoCal Athletics, also 6-0. Out of Temecula, California, about an hour from here. Chases, that curveball disappears away, and down she goes. Walk-off magic has been a part of the SoCal Athletics history, and it's been that way for a long, long time. Are we about to witness the same thing in just a moment? Boy, what a wonderful opportunity for Kayla Edwards to be a table setter. To also pick up her fallen teammate, Jasmine Perez-Chico, the leadoff hitter. She leads off the bottom half of the 7th inning. 3-3 is our score. Representing the SoCal Athletics is Edwards. In the circle working Carly Charles. The Directv Genie Elite 12U squad out of Frisco, Texas. Edwards, foul, would have been extra bases heading into the corner. Edwards has been hit a pair of times. She's been on twice.
Look at this aggressive swing on this inside pitch. Drills it down the third base line, barely foul.
Out to short, bobbled momentarily, recovering the throw, not in time. Jaden Coleman, who made such a great defensive play, turning nothing into a double play a couple of innings ago, couldn't hang on to this one.
This ball gets on her heel just a little bit, goes to recover. Would have been a close play at first. Instead, pulls first baseman Zaire off the bag. And the Athletics have their leadoff runner on base.
So a miscue on the shortstop in E6 and KINZIE HANSEN now. KINZIE stabs at that one, 0-1 the count. She's been on twice, couple of fielders' choices, and she's also flied to center field.
Hey, deep breath and smash it, kid. Let's go.
The SoCal Athletics, 5 overall national titles. That one sails to the backstop. The winning run moves up to second base on a wild pitch. Cedric Coleman will visit. But they've won 4 at the 18U level, the SoCal Athletics, and then 1 last year at the 12U level. And a couple of the 4, 2 of the 4 have been in walk-off dramatic fashion, and they're trying to do it again, this time at the 12U level. David Mercado, the head coach and the manager of this team, along with Mark Smith. 2011, in the hole and the contest. And the 18U's the very next year, walk-off fashion as well. This one to the right side. Do the 12U's have the same kind of magic? With nobody out, there's a runner at second base. Edwards the runner, 1-2 the count. In on the knuckles, rolls it to the right side. Very effective out. The winning run is at third. 4-3 on a ground out. And an opportunity for Paige Smith. One more RBI would be her biggest, but she's already driven in 14 in this tournament. Infield draws in.
Infield and outfield, everybody's in.
1-0.
In the outfield, if it makes it out to you, your only shot is if that ball's in the air in front of you to make that play. If that ball touches the grass, it's an easy run home and the game winner for the Athletics.
A high strike, 1-1 the count. There's obviously the option of loading the bases for a force out, and then you force A tighter strike zone in that sense for the pitcher?
Yeah, it's an option, but I think at this point you just go right at the hitter and take your chances with it.
And that's what she's doing. 1-2 the count. She got a high strike, then really jammed her with the next pitch. Ollie Charles deals the 1-2 to the right side. That'll do it! The SoCal Athletics win the 12U Premier Girls Fast Pitch National Championship. For the second consecutive year, the 12U Premier Girls Fast Pitch title goes to the SoCal Athletics. Their head coach, David Mercado. Cedric Coleman, well, you've got to tip your cap to his coaching ability, his team 10 deep.
And when we talked to him before the game, he said, you know what, we won because we made it here, and I truly believe that they believe that. You can see the way that they're cheering, and they weren't just happy to be here, they put up a fight, and you know what, they made this such a close game. Could have gone either way, but that's how it is when you get to these championship games. And tip your cap to the Genies because they're not finished.
Kara Lentz is standing by with David Mercado. Kara?
David, you said coming into this game that this tournament, defensively no, hitting yes, and you're waiting to play that full game. How complete was this game for your team?
Oh, it was very complete. The girls did exactly what they needed to do. The pitchers came in when they needed to come in, and obviously we got the timely hit when we needed it, so I couldn't be more proud of them right now.
12U age group, they played up to 14 just a little bit ago. What can we see from these girls and this team moving forward?
Oh, I think sky's the limit for these guys. They are a special group for sure. They play for each other. There's no individuals on this team. They understand the game and how to play it for each other, and I think that's the key to our success. So you can see good things coming from them, I promise.
Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you so much.
Again, SoCal Athletics, class program with regard to all the titles that they've won.
Well, we knew we were going to see a really classy fight today, and the Athletics just do such a good job. 12 and under to 18 and under, and these girls, like Coach just said, the sky's the limit. Their futures are so bright, and it'll be exciting to see where they go in the next couple of years.
So we say goodbye to Irvine, we say goodbye to champions, and we see yet another walk-off victory for Amanda Freed, Kara Lentz, and our entire PGF crew here in Irvine. I'm Darren Sutton. So long from Deanna Manning Stadium. The final score 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Congratulations to the 12U Premier Girls Fast Pitch National Champions, the SoCal Athletics. John Walsh has been our coordinator and our producer. Thanks for watching. This is an exclusive presentation of Premier Girls Fast Pitch. My name is Darren. See you next time at the ballpark.